Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over some of the things to practice with balance and coordination. Of course, we all know that riding a motorcycle requires a lot of hand-eye coordination, a lot of muscle memory, and our reaction times have to be pretty quick. The good news for you is, if you suck at this, you can and will get better with dedicated practice. I have a herniated disc in my lower back, and that means that sometimes I have trouble feeling my left leg and my left foot. I don't ever want to have problems changing gear with that foot, so I'll practice something every single day to help with that nerve damage. Whether it's standing on one leg while eating breakfast, hopping, jumping, or just slow marching on the spot, I have to remember if I don't use it, I will lose it. With the exercises in the following video, please feel free to modify these to your own specific needs. Just like with riding a motorcycle, you have to ride your own ride. All the equipment that you will need today is a mat, some space on the floor, a pair of socks, and something like your helmet will do. This first balance exercise, I want you to think of your body as a seesaw. So the top of your head to the end of your foot is going to be a nice rigid line, or as rigid as you can make it, balancing on one leg reaching down towards the ground. I want you to try and bring your chest down so it is parallel with the ground and bring that leg up nice and high at the back as well. Please don't bend at the hips. If you drop that torso down towards the ground, I really would like that back leg to try and come up, again as if you were a seesaw. If you are not able to get very close to the ground, please use an object, even a table. You can use your motorcycle, just something in front of you that is not the ground. Try and meet about halfway there, and we'll just take it slow and steady. To progress this exercise, we're going to lay out 3 objects in front of you on the mat. I have my helmet and both shoes in front of me. I'm taking about 2-foot step back. I'm going to choose one leg to balance on. I'm going to reach with my opposite hand, and I'm going to try and touch each of those 3 objects in front of me, nice and slow and steady, coming back to that starting position each time. Move your way back and forth through the objects. I want you to touch about 12 times before moving on to the other leg. As you can see here, I'm now balancing on my left leg. This is the leg that I have problems with. You can see during this movement, I will actually have to put my foot down and reset a little bit. It doesn't matter if you need to do that, just really police yourself and make sure that you are doing it slow and steady with the best form that you can muster. So here is that exercise that you'll need that rolled up pair of socks for. Both feet firmly on the ground, you're going to throw that pair of socks up above eye level, above your head if you can, and catch it with one hand. You're going to do 10 reps on each side before even thinking about moving on to make it a little bit more difficult. Now let's do 10 reps of throwing it from one hand nice and high and catching with the other hand. To progress this exercise even further, we are going to throw up and down, catching with one hand, balancing on one leg. You can either have your foot how mine is shown and just bring it up behind you a little bit, or if you'd like to, bring that knee up nice and high towards your chest and see if you can balance and use your hand-eye coordination that way. Let's do about 10 reps on each hand and each foot before progressing to the next exercise. And when you're ready, try throwing it up behind your back and over your shoulder. This is a pretty nifty trick to have at parties, by the way. And if you do already know how to juggle, please just go for it. Try balancing on one foot while you're doing your usual routine. Mix it up a little bit, 2 balls, 1 hand. Just have a go at everything and make it hard for yourself. The next exercise we have here is core and stabilization. We are going to be laying on our back, legs up in tabletop, arms stretched out in front of you. We are doing dead bugs. We are going to extend opposite hand, opposite leg, bringing back to center, and then starting again on the other side. You really want to be squeezing your stomach into the ground. That means shortening the distance between your hips and your ribs. You're almost in an isometric crunch hold here. Really squeezing that core nice and tight and taking this move nice and slow. You want to move with purpose each time you are moving, not just flapping around like this. Really come back to center each time. Move one arm, one leg, extending out, coming back to center, resetting, and then starting again on the other side. We have one more exercise to practice today, starting with our hands underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips in tabletop. We are going to do the exact same thing as we did before, extending one arm and the opposite leg behind you. You really want to reach forward with that arm and really try and touch the back wall behind you with that extending leg. You're going to practice this movement a few times before we make it a little bit more advanced, and that means that we will be extending one arm, one leg, bringing that knee and that elbow in underneath and crunching in that position before extending again. We are not putting our hands and knees back on the ground during this movement. We are just touching knee to elbow and extending again, 10 reps per side, and then we are done. We're going to finish up this video by dropping our hips back onto our heels in child's pose, really reaching forward with those arms, having a nice gentle stretch out with the lower back. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. As I said at the start of the video, if you suck at any of this, you can and you will get better with practice, I promise you. Stay safe out there and I'll see you on the next one.